Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are in mega construction mode, and things are going very well as far as our constructions go. No doubt about that. What we really need, of course, is a lot of alloys at this time, and our current alloy generation is not the best, although the price is pretty low. Let's buy in a few. Looks good. So that puts us up to 8.8k alloys, and there are a number of things that we're interested in spending alloys on. We could, of course... There we go. We could, of course, upgrade our Sentry Spire, requiring 10,000 alloys, but we can only do one mega structure at a time, and the mega shipyard's only about half done. We could put that into another fleet, although we don't have the Titan capacity for that, so that's not really a great option. We can, of course, put it into our orbitals, which is something that we have been doing very extensively, but that is not requiring our full alloy allotment at this moment. Now we're upgrading our fleets, and that's where our minor artifacts are going. That's going to take some time. The mischievous muscle, where are you? You're here? Okay, we definitely want to colonize this. There we go. Now, the arguments that we made about upgrading our ship types to minor artifact types, right? That means that we're going to be very shield heavy, and we know that, but we're also going to have a lot of shield hardening. So I think overall it's going to work out fairly well for us. We'll see how it actually plays out. But I don't think we can make these same arguments for the ion cannon, because this is only 3 slots of dark matter deflectors, and they're medium size at that. So, I mean, the shield hardening would absolutely be a thing. So the overall amount of shield that this would be 315 plus 190, right? So 315 plus 190 is 505 shield, and this is 700 shield. So then we would multiply that by 1.45 approximately for the shield hardening. So multiply that by 1.45, that gives us 732.25. So that's an overall gain in theory of about 90 points of shield. That's not phenomenal, is it? So I think we'll probably stick with this. We're going to be short on minor artifacts as it is. We could think about upgrading that a little bit later on, and it would probably only be the shields. We wouldn't upgrade the armor, I don't think, but we could think about that a little bit later on. Right now is not good timing for that, because we're spending all of our minor artifacts on our fleets. So for the moment, I think we're going to leave that be, and we do need to put in some orbitals out over here. That was an arc furnace. That's not actually going to build. So we need to do a major orbital here, and then this would be a minor. Is that everything? I believe that is everything in that system. Cool. So that means that what we largely need to be spending our alloys on is, of course, our defenses here. So the Gothra station is currently upgrading to a Starhold. That's fine for now. We've got the Nunkey station here. We were working, I believe, in Vuldop. Okay, this is maxed. Where were we working then? Torfree Star? Because, yeah, we definitely maxed Azeroth. We maxed Vuldop as well. What do we have for dark matter? 904? Okay, we're negative on exotic gases and Unity. That is both noted. Let's get some defense platforms going in here. Okay, so that got us 14 of the 18 that we need overall. So that sounds good. Definite progress happening there. Now, Ulm Prime. This is a generator world. It needs housing. We'll put in a generator district there, I guess. And then here we've got that food processing center going in. That'll be fine. Do we have any other planetary constructions that we need to do here? Spica's already in progress. So that looks like a no.
Council agenda ready.
Okay. So our council agenda is now launching. That is actually going to boost our Unity, so that is very, very good. Beyond that, what are we interested in getting? A higher purpose is interesting. Specialist pop resource output is probably really, really good, though. Let's go ahead and do that. That should boost our alloy count, at least somewhat. Okay, so let's let this month tick happen. I'm expecting that we go positive on our Unity here. And we are still, actually, we're doing okay on our exotic gases. We're basically neutral on exotic gases. I do want to do some work on that and get our exotic gases into the positive column, but we're not quite to that point yet. We could come into, like, this factory world, although this isn't a great option. This forge world is an interesting option for that. We'd put in an ancient refinery here, but we are, of course, lacking the minor artifacts for that. Now, we could do it right now, actually. Well, no, we can't, because that did get spent. We'd have to do it right after a month tick. So that is understood. Let's check in on our fleets and see just how upgraded they are. Okay, so this one's at 58. This one's at 93. So this is good. We're going to be able to start moving some of these fleets away from the Mega Shipyard Core soon and back to the actual station here, which we're not at the station right now, so we're not getting that 25% reduction on upkeep, which is why our alloys are this low. So that is absolutely understood. So it's currently 422. Okay, let's give it a moment here. Let's give it a month tick, in fact. And looking in here, we can see it's the enforcers that we aren't currently using. Okay, that's fine. So it's the 28th, 29th, 30th. These day ticks are starting to get a lot slower. That's just a late game Stellaris for you. Okay, game is paused, and at this point, we should be able to put in an ancient refinery. This is going to delay some of our upgrade, of course, but that's still absolutely fine. So we can see that this Titan is at 70% completion at this point, and I believe everything else here should be upgraded. Yeah, so this is fully allocated. After it's done here, I'm going to tell it to enter orbit here. In fact, I'm going to issue that order for all of these. Just append that to the end of the list. There we go. And after they finish upgrading, then they'll automatically move over to the base here and reduce their upkeep. So that should be great. That'll buy us a lot more minerals over time, or rather, a lot more alloys, I should say, over time. So looking in at the Mega Shipyard here, it's progressing okay, but we're definitely working through that list faster than we're queuing up. We're going to be idling, and that's not surprising. Ooh, that's a cheap price for alloys. I'm going to buy some alloys at these prices. Absolutely. So that puts us at 10k alloys, and that is, of course, something that we could invest into the Torfree Star Station. We can now completely max out the defense platform here. There we go. And then a Weza station would be next. So we can get a few of these going. It's definitely not going to be approaching maxing because we need 78 defense platforms here, and that's a lot of defense platforms. I'm not going to lie, that's a crazy amount of defense platforms. So this Starhold is about 150 days away from upgrading. Sounds good. So we're going to need to bank up our alloys for a little bit here, and we'll keep an eye on the price. If it drops down like it has been, that would be great. What we're seeing there is the galaxy recovering from the wars it was in and getting their fleets rebuilt back where they want to be, and now they have a surplus of alloys, and they're exporting it. That's what's happening there. So that is absolutely wonderful. We're very happy about that. So you can see that the Tsunami fleet has now finished its upgrade, and it has now moved to be in orbit of this station, where it is reducing its upkeep. So that is going to increase by a significant margin as these finish. That's going to increase our alloys. So that is absolutely wonderful. Checking in on the progress of these other upgrades. This one's at 19. That's a long ways away. This one's at 92. So this one's probably also fully allocated. Yes, we're just waiting on that Titan. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. We're going to have a second fleet going through that very shortly. Cool. So let's check in on our construction ships. Nothing to be done here, so I'm not concerned at all about the influence. In fact, we might be thinking about getting another set of construction ships fairly soon. Maybe like one additional construction ship. We've got 15 right now. That's extraordinarily significant construction. I don't know. I'm weighing currently the extra alloys that would, or the extra strain that would put on our alloys versus the influence capping risk. I don't think we're at risk of capping our influence for a while. I don't think we should expand above 15 construction ships for the moment, anyway. So overall, I think that looks reasonably fine, and actually we have 14 construction ships. I actually do want to go up to a 15th, now that I think about it. So let's get a construction ship going here. That'll be done in 28 days. We're only going to go to 15. I say only. But yeah, we're going to go to 15 here, and you can see just how far our constructions have spread. We're making very, very rapid progress on that. So that seems wonderful. Let's check the price of alloys. Super cheap. Okay, we'll buy a few more. You'll note that we're net negative on our energy credits here. That's absolutely expected. Deeply, deeply unsurprising, that. So let's come in here, and we know that we were working on the Ozea station. So here we can queue up a bunch more defense platforms. There we go. And we've got 2 right now. We've got 27 in the queue. So this is 29 out of 78 queued up. Okay, that's definitely making progress. For sure. We're getting close to half on that. Interesting.
Ships upgraded.
We're going to need to sell some food, so I'm going to sell off a bunch of it right now. Price is minimal, and that's expected. But that will get us some additional energy credits, and we'll keep an eye on the price of alloys. I'm not going to buy at this price. We can sell a couple of consumer goods, and I'm not sure if we want to sell minerals right now or not. I don't think so, looking at it. We can sell some rare crystals, we can sell some zero, and that'll help us keep afloat. Okay, beautiful. I saw an upgrade here. Yes, this orbital dock. Okay, what do we got going on here? So this world is a generator world. Easy enough. So that, of course, means an orbital anchorage and a stratospheric ionization element. There we go. And then there's the Gothra station here. Now, this is the station that is up here. So we want to put in a naval logistics office, and then I'm going to do a pair of anchorages, and then we're going to upgrade this to a star fortress. So that'll be fine for now. This is intended to just be an anchorage for the moment, and that will increase our naval capacity, which will reduce our maintenance cost somewhat. 11% right now. Interesting. 11% is actually fairly significant. So it's not like the worst in the world, but it's reasonably significant. Okay, I want to check in on the Clever Clam here and see if there's anything for it to do. The answer is no, but we do have the Mischievous Mussel that we just created, and I'm going to send that out to Strom, and we are going to come out over this direction and build a habitat. Excellent. So that puts us at 140. I'm not going to build any additional construction ships over this. I think 15 is more than enough construction ships. Right? It better be. If 15 isn't enough, then I have questions. I'm actually shocked that we can run 15 simultaneous construction ships. That's insane. But sure, I like it. So let's check in on the progress here. 25%, not started, not started, not started. But both of these are now finished. You're in an aggressive stance. Let's move you back to passive. There we go. A galactic resolution, huh? Banning enslavement? This is fine. We don't do it. We don't do enslavement.
Research complete.
So that's okay, no problem. Mega art installation is now available. Okay. Looking through some of these technologies, none of this is all that big of a deal for us, I don't think. We could go to xenomorph armies. That's a useful thing. Might as well, I suppose. And that seems fine for the moment. Now, our empire size is pretty up there. No doubt about that. I wouldn't mind reducing that empire size somewhat. You can see our technology and tradition adoption costs are pretty high. We don't care about tradition adoption. We're maxed on our traditions long since. But that technology cost increase, that's a lot. No doubt about that. So of that, it's mostly our pops. Psionic Theory reduces it by 10% and Kinship by an additional 10%. So that is definitely noted. But let's continue to look through here, see if there's any planetary constructions we need. Winkward. Okay, so this is a science world here, and that seems absolutely fine. Do we really need this Storm Relief Center here? Not really, but I'm not going to replace it just yet, because I want to put in a research lab here. And then I'm going to replace this later with a research lab. For now, we need to get this job dealt with, right? So that'll be fine. We do need a gene clinic here. And we're going to also need a habitation district. There we go. That is underway. And what else do we have going on our planets? Well, it looks like the answer is basically nothing. So that is fine. How's that Hurricane Fleet doing? No, it was White Crush? Black Tide? No, Deluge. It's the Deluge fleet that's upgrading. Okay, that's fine. So this is mostly stalled out and idling. If we look in at where it's actually upgrading, it's upgrading this destroyer for the moment. We can get roughly like 1 per month.
New frontiers established.
It's going to be pretty slow due to minor artifacts. So if we look at our relics here, we can see, yeah, this Triumph is going to be active for a long time. So we're not going to get more than that, but we actually just got Kerpus Habitat. Okay, we'll grab a gene clinic there and a habitation district. And you can see we're up to 1723 pops now, so that is going reasonably well. We definitely want our population to continue to grow, and grow quickly, ideally. We're at 3.6k alloys. Price is low. So I'm going to buy there. I'm not going to buy, I think the rule is from now on that I'm not going to buy, at least for the moment, if the price is above 4. Anything below 4, I think I will consider fair game for purchasing. So that looks good. We've got about another 10k alloys now. So that's looking great. That mega shipyard still upgrading, so nothing too major there. And this station here, we know that we have a good chunk of its defense platforms queued up, but it needs a lot more. And there's a number of these that have a long ways to go. No doubt about that. Some of these stations are much better than others, but for the time being, we're just going down the list. So let's get these Fire Coral class defense platforms in here. The question is, how are we doing on dark matter? 690? Okay. We are definitely net negative on our dark matter. Our dark matter will eventually run out and will become the limiting factor for this defense platform construction. That's fine. We are absolutely A-okay with that. So we'll put in a couple more defense platforms here. This is 38 plus 6 is 44. So yeah, making good progress on that. I like it. Alloys are the limiting factor there for now, but eventually the limiting factor will in fact become dark matter. So this is a Forge World here requiring housing. An industrial district is the obvious choice here, and we'll put that in. Wonderful. Any other planetary constructions in this list? That's a negative. However, we have finished up construction here in Chavash. So let's go ahead and build Chavash Prime, and let's get started on some of these orbitals. So we're out over here right now? Sure. So we're going to need a major orbital here. We might not have enough alloys to get all of this completed. We'll see. We're going to need a minor orbital here. Minors only cost 40. The major orbitals are 160, so that is a larger concern for sure. Okay, so we'll come up over this direction and build a major orbital here. Then there's going to be a pair of minors. And then a major. So it looks like we just managed to squeak in enough there. Looks good. So then we've got the Mazoglia 7 out in Kazoo. And here it's a very similar story. We're going to want to colonize this, and we're going to want to... This is going to be a lot of miners. Okay, that's not bad. We just determined that miners cost like a quarter of what majors do. So this is going to be entirely miners out over here, and that's fine. So roughly 1 trillion minor orbitals going in here, because this is all just asteroids, right? And we kind of bypassed this one up here. Not the most efficient pathing in the world, but whatever. Okay, so we'll come down over this direction, and we'll grab this guy. There we go. And come up over here. I believe that's all of the asteroids. I think so. Okay, so that'll do for now. So we're at 987 alloys. The current price is decent, so we'll buy in a few. Wonderful. We will be constantly interested in buying alloys for the next decent chunk of time as we get some of this completed. So let's check in on that Deluge fleet. 39% at this point. Okay, we're working on cruisers now. Yeah, so that's definitely a significant improvement. Astral threads, we should definitely gain a physics insight and run an astral boost on. There we go. Cool. So that all looks very, very solid. The next thing that we need to do, of course, is, well, spend more alloys, and the price on them is not phenomenal. I'm going to sell a little bit of food here, but I'm not going to sell more because that tanks the price. We'll sell that one round of food, and that looks good. Price at 2.87? Boom. We'll buy a few alloys. Cool. Price is hovering right around our buy point at this moment. Let's see what happens on this year tick. I mean, this price is still pretty decent. But I'm hoping that the AI does some sales here and drives that price further down. As of right now, it's just kind of hovering. Okay, 4.34. Not quite where we want to be. And you can see it's naturally wanting to tick up. So it's going to need to be driven down actively. So that is understood. Let's check in on our construction ships quick. Yeah, the Water Nymph 3. So that is up in Pennick. And we just finished up everything there. So we need to head to like a Rye here. And we need to build a Habitat Central complex. Let's go get that going. Cool. So that is going to take a chunk of alloys, of course, and the price here is still drifting up. No one has sold at this point. Okay. We're just kind of hovering in this awkward point where we don't want to buy, but the AI doesn't want to sell for this price. Yeah, this is very awkward. Okay, our great leader died, and we will chant for his soul. That'll boost our unity and reduce our consumer goods upkeep, which will be a good thing. Excellent. So more orbitals being finished is fine. The mega shipyard is now fully online. So that is wonderful. I'm wondering, can this build Titans and Juggernauts? Yes. Okay. Just wanted to check. So we just needed to fully upgrade that. So that's good. Now we could get this Sentry Spire upgrading, and that would be a good thing. Oh, look at that. The price on alloys is down. So 3.06, I'm going to buy once more. It was below 4, so that looks good.
Station under attack.
All right, pirates. Do they win that? I don't know that they win that. I'm going to send the Tsunami Fleet out anyway. They are getting through that shield pretty well. Okay. I think it's possible that our station would be able to win this if it would stop target switching. Just keep attacking the same target. Don't switch like this because their shields regenerate over time. Just focus fire the same target and you'd be fine. One more shot on that would take it down probably. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, just stay on the same target. There you go. Now you can see that his armor is basically gone at this point. There were a number of target swaps early on there, which drastically increased the amount of damage output that this enemy fleet has. I do still think it's theoretically possible that they lose to this. In fact, looking at how its hull is holding up, it was doing pretty well, but here's our fleet. So we got there, no problem. It's under control. And we're going to head back up to here. Cool. Because we don't want to be paying the upkeep for this, right? So we're going to redock that. Excellent. So at this point, checking in on these civilian ships, not too much going on there. Okay, that all looks good. And let's check in on, this was not where I wanted to be. Let's check in on the Deluge fleet. There we go. 51% on that upgrade. Okay, so once this finishes, we will be half done with the upgrades. That's, of course, going to take quite a while. So there's that. Okay, Astinda Prime needs housing. This is a factory world, and that's fine? Yeah, that's fine. We're going to build an industrial district there. That looks okay. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to accumulate alloys, just like that. And we're going to continue to spend them in locations like this. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of these defense platforms queued. There we go. We actually maxed this one out. Beautiful. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Bagar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.